Proxtrae, the third planet in the Alpha Proxima system. This Class M planet is widely habitable except for zones of extreme radioactivity on the southern continent. About 1,000 years ago, the two dominant political systems, the Lucres and the Sophs, engaged in a nuclear war that resulted in the deaths of 3/4 of the world's population through direct or collateral damage. Proxtrae's current civilization is non-spacefaring and does not have contact with the Federation. Scythe, a large asteroid in an elliptical orbit in the Alpha Proxima system. Spectral analysis of its composition indicates that it has minimal atmosphere and that it was once a moon of the planet Proxtrae, hurled out of its orbit by a catastrophe. The 17th letter of the Lucre alphabet is named Scythe, probably not by coincidence. Sophs, one of the two ancient races of Proxtrae. They lived in a highly advanced culture that valued the community ahead of the individual, which put them in conflict with the Lucres. The Sophs used base 4 in their mathematics, and their organization was based on units of 4 to make up sets of 100. Lucres, one of the two ancient cultures of Proxtrae. See Sophs. The Lucres believed that a man who made the most of his ability was a god. Their individualism put themselves at odds with the communitarianism of the Sophs. The Lucres used base 3. Their organization was based on units of 3, making up sets of 99. The number 99 was known to have religious importance to them. Base 3, the mathematical basis for the Lucre culture. There are 3 numbers in base 3, 0, 1, and 2. Thus 3 in base 3 is 1, 0, 4 is 1, 1, 5 is 1, 2, 6 is 2, 0, 9 is 1, 0, 0, 17 is 1, 2, 2, and 99 is 1, 0, 2, 0, 0. Base 4, the mathematical basis for the Sophs culture. There are 4 numbers in base 4, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Thus 4 in base 4 is 1, 0, 7 is 1, 3, 8 is 2, 0, 12 is 3, 0, and 16 is 1, 0, 0.
A sensor scan of Scythe reveals surface features consistent with damage left by a nuclear attack. It would seem to have been a target during Proxima's war.
Scythe rained fury down on the planet and then left on a dance of victory. A missile base, Captain?
It would seem to make sense.
Captain, I just monitored a narrow beam message from Scythe to Proxima 3. I don't have it all. I just caught a bit of the initial burst. I'm attempting a translation, but it appears to be a computer code.
Any response from the planet?
The Proxtrites will not have the equipment necessary to understand and reply to that code for another 25.6 years at their present rate of development.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
Captain, Mr. Scott
Mr. Scott?
Aye, we've had some slight problems with the transporters.
We didn't notice anything beaming down.
Just a glitch in the main transporter program. Mr. Kyle is loading a backup and we're performing tests. The transporters will be down for about an hour.
That will still give us plenty of time, Scotty.
I know. I have the lads in engineering doing a complete overhaul of the ship's systems.
Good, Mr. Scott. I'll keep you posted. Kirk out.
As expected, Captain, the source of power emanations lies beyond that door.
A power source that has lasted millennia and endured major catastrophes. That's fascinating, Mr. Spock.
Do you have Vulcan blood, Ensign?
No, sir.
I cannot get readings from this range, Captain. But if we do not hurry, there will be nothing left to get a reading on. Unremarkable except for low-grade power emanations from the door area. Large quantities of atmosphere are being circulated through these rocks. I would guess there are storage units within this satellite which are constantly replacing the atmosphere that is lost because of this moon's weak gravity.
Which means that this moon might still be inhabited, Mr. Spock.
We have detected no signs of life, Captain, but the possibility does exist.
You retrieve a rock. You retrieve a rock.
Unremarkable except for low-grade power emanations from the door area.
It's what I was afraid of, Jim. The thin atmosphere of this moon doesn't provide enough protection from cosmic rays. We shouldn't stay here any more than a few hours.
Captain, I'm afraid we got a wee problem here.
What is it, Scotty?
There is some sort of virus in the main computer. Our phasers and tractor beams have been disabled, and there's no way we're getting them back in 3 hours.
There goes our backup plan. Do what you can, Mr. Scott.
Aye, I will, Captain. I may yet have a trick or two that I can pull, but don't count on any miracles.
Isolate that virus. That's your number one priority.
That it is, Captain. We'll keep you informed. Scott out.
I see you deduced that 10200 in the Lucre's Base 3 was equal to their sacred number 99.
Report, Scotty. How are things going?
About as badly as a killed in a blast furnace, Captain. Wait a minute. Lieutenant Uhura has some news for you.
The virus came from our sensor sweep of the moon's computers. We believe we have analyzed the memory sectors it attacked.
Well done, Uhura.
I wish I could take credit for it. It was Mr. Kyle who found the pattern. We are attacking it with antivirus programs.
Computer science sounds more like medicine every day.
If we had a doctor as good with computers as you are with patients, we'd be having a lot fewer problems.
Finally, someone who appreciates me.
Keep working at it, Uhura. Kirk out.
The console reports the following. Welcome to Orbital Missile Base. Codename Psi. This base has been operational for the past week. It has completed one successful fire mission. Estimation of success is at 22 over 100.
22%? That's very low. Hardly something to brag about.
Doctor, in Base 3, 22 divided by 100 is equivalent to 8 out of 9, or 88%. I would think that quite satisfactory, given this base's probable mission of destroying the soft forces on Proxtree.
It says the base has been operational for a week, but this has been here for 1,000 years.
If the Lucres built this base with a clock that told the time by measuring the moon's rotational speed, or the gravitational forces generated by Proxtree and the sun, the computer may have calculated only a week of time has passed since its first action. I might be able to learn more with another look at the console. There is a substantial amount of data here, but in summary, Scythe was created by the Lucres as a launching platform for missiles to keep the Softs subjugated to their influence. The Softs managed to infiltrate the base. However, their actions triggered Scythe's auto-attack mechanisms and initiated a holocaust that nearly annihilated the planet. One soft strike did, in fact, hit the moon and deflected it from its orbit. It has been dormant since then.
So why has the base been activated again?
Given the damage to the moon, its slow rotation and orbit, it has never realized the war is over. On this pass, for the first time, it has detected radio wave transmissions from Proxtree. Because it does not recognize them, it assumes the Softs are still active. Its transmission to the planet, I would assume, was some sort of a check beacon to see if it should continue its mission.
Jim, let's return to the ship and blast this place to destroy its weapons.
Doctor, this moon is a god to the people down there. If we destroy it, we will violate the Prime Directive.
Spock is right, Bones. Spock, what are the chances that we could decode the transmission and send a stop code to the base?
In trinary or decimal?
Spock!
1.327 million to 1, provided the archaeological studies about Lucre's languages are correct. Our other option is to get into this base and see if we can bring the computers down. Fascinating. If the Federation language studies were correct, the ideograph for the word scythe in the Lucres language is the 17th symbol in their alphabet that corresponds with 122 in base 3.
Captain, we have a cure for the computer virus.
Well done, Uhura.
I modified Cathral C to exclusively attack the Lucre virus. They annihilated each other, Captain.
Fascinating, Lieutenant.
The Klingons aren't going to be happy to learn that they helped us. How about the phasers and tractor beams?
We may get the tractor beams online in time, Captain. I'm afraid even the backup phaser transmission codes were affected. We could destroy some missiles manually, but if this complex decides to launch more than 10 missiles at a time...
Understood. The ball is in our court. We'll give it our best shot. Kirk out.
This door is made from remarkably dense alloys. Even our most powerful phaser rifle or welder would not be able to penetrate it.
The thing must be almost as tough as a starship hull.
Indeed, Ensign, and considerably thinner. A remarkable achievement in metallurgical engineering. This panel has a slot in it rather than a keypad. The slot bears traces of triphosphorus silver, and power is currently running to it. I am recording the pattern of this lock into my tricorder. Circuits and atmosphere pumps are hidden in the walls.
Can't say I like the decor.
The Lucres did not leave behind many examples of their architecture.
I can see why.
Captain, with the 3K AG content of the surface rocks and the tricorder scan of the pattern inside the lock, I believe the laser drill can be used to fashion the ID card needed to open the sealed door in the other chamber. drill is unremarkable, except its aiming component is corroded and frozen in place. Unlike the surface rocks, the ore here is unremarkable. I used the key card pattern scanned from the lock to program the drill. It should now be able to make a template of the key card in the rock. This appears to be the brain of Scythe. There are two identical but isolated computers that communicate with a third, which controls the launch of missiles. indicate an extremely high radiation level beyond those doors. It would be fatal to proceed beyond them. This computer directly controls the missile launch system. There is no way to interface with it directly, but the other two computers are accessible. This computer is functional and performing an average 1.2 million operations per second. This computer is functional and performing an average 0.75 million operations per second.
Welcome to Side Operations Center, Alpha Unit. Estimated time to optimal launch range is 3.21 hours adjusted. Welcome to Side Operations Center, Omega Unit. Estimated time to optimal launch range is 1.31 hours adjusted.
Captain, something is wrong with the computers. They may be twins, but they are not identical.
It appears they are out of sync, Captain. I have to assume the Alpha unit has a virus, which is using up an incredible amount of computing time.
They report different optimum launch times, which is right.
Given the elliptical orbit and the range at which they will pass Proxtree, the Omega unit is correct, but the window is very narrow. A variation of minutes will mean the missiles run out of fuel and fall harmlessly into the sun.
Can you reprogram the Lucre's computer to give us that time, Mr. Spock?
Reprogramming an old alien computer is not simple, Captain. The odds against success are 10,221 to 1 against.
Too bad old Omega here couldn't just take a sick day and miss the firing.
Because the two machines are isolated, the virus did not spread from one to the other.
If we could only bridge them.
The connector snaps into place.
Welcome to Side Operations Center, Alpha Unit. Estimated time to optimal launch range is 3.21 hours adjusted. Welcome to Side Operations Center, Omega Unit. Estimated time to optimal launch range is 1.54 hours adjusted.
The launched missiles will run out of fuel before they reach Proxtree. They will drift into the sun and burn up.
Kirk to Enterprise, how are the transporters, Scotty?
They're operational again, Captain. We're ready to bring you back at any time.
Bring us home.
Message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the problems at Proxima 3 and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
Hard to believe that Earth came so close to the brink itself.
Vulcans, too. Both, in the end, looked into the abyss and came to the only logical conclusion.
Logic? Humans? I'm dreaming, Jim.
Sometimes it is harder and braver to make peace rather than war.
Sounds like emotion had its part to play in a positive sense, too.
I don't know about you, but I'd like to bid an emotional goodbye to Alpha Proxima myself.
Take us out of orbit, Mr. Sulu.
Vengeance.
Captain's log. We are arriving at the last known position of the USS Republic, which reported that it was under attack 12 hours ago.
Captain, the ship's sensors have picked up what appears to be a starship. Minimal life support, minimal engine power, and only 2 life forms, one on the bridge, the other in sickbay. Both appear to be gravely injured. It is the Republic.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
I am preparing an information packet for Starfleet. Shall I send it or wait for you to return?
Send it now. If a hostile ship arrives, head immediately for Starbase 24.
My God, Jim, what kind of butcher would do something like this?
I don't know, Bones. We're too far from the Klingon and Romulan borders for it to be one of their ships.
Enterprise to Captain Kirk.
Kirk here. What is it, Scott?
We picked up a distress signal. It appears a trading vessel is having a wee bit of trouble with her warp drive. What condition is the Republic in?
It's a mess, Scotty. Life support's functioning, but that's about it.
I've done a primary scan of the Republic's systems. Main and auxiliary power is out. Life support is stable. I also read that communications are operable.
Should we beam you back, Captain?
Do the sensors read any other ships in the sector?
Besides the trade vessel, this sector is clear, sir.
Mr. Scott, we will continue here. Assist the trade ship and return here. If we need assistance, we'll contact you.
You sure you'll be all right, Captain?
Yes, Scotty, just don't take too long. Kirk out. Well, gentlemen, let's see if we can re-establish power.
Jim, don't forget. There's another survivor on board. We've got to find him.
Save new game.
We're too late. This man must have died just a few moments ago.
Can you bring him back?
Punctured lung, nerve damage, brain damage, fractured arm and ribs. It's a miracle he lasted as long as he did. He's not coming back, Jim. They're dead, Jim. All of them.
Tricorder readings indicate that the ship is running on minimal battery power. Only life support and essential systems are currently running. Captain, records indicate that this ship was attacked by a Constitution-class starship.
Any idea of which one it was?
I am reading a record of the transponder signal, NCC 1701. It's the Enterprise, Captain.
Someone must have tampered with the computer records.
May I remind you, Doctor, that the main computer of a Constitution-class starship has safeguards against such an intrusion. Furthermore, I do not see any discrepancies in any of the files that I am able to access. This is a standard tritanium-duranium support beam. Tricorder readings indicate that although it has experienced enough tensile stress to push it from one side of its mooring, it has not elastically deformed beyond its ability to support a compressive load.
Thanks for the dissertation, Spock. This person's dead, Jim.
You fail to obtain anything.
This is a molecular saw, Captain. It is used for precision cutting. My tricorder reads that the power cells are fully charged.
You retrieve the molecular saw.
Readings of the door indicate a jam in the gear mechanism. Tricorder indicates that the panel is currently sealed by Federation standard molecular bonding cement.
The door is jammed shut. The molecular saw easily cuts through the beam, separating it from the hull. You pick up the beam. It's a little heavy, but you manage it.
There are no more computer entries accessible from this station. The controls have been totally destroyed, undoubtedly due to circuit overloads caused by the battle. There are no more computer entries accessible from this station. My tricorder has picked up the final entry of the Republic.
We're under attack. Our sensors are inoperative. We're trying to get shields up.
That's all there is, Captain.
Dick Patterson was never one for making long speeches.
You are on what's left of the bridge of the USS Republic. Main computer banks. They appear to have been damaged. Main computer banks. They appear to have been damaged. These are the navigation controls for the Republic. They are currently inactive. Main computer banks. They appear to have been damaged. The view screen is not functioning. This is a length of heavy-duty insulated power cable. You have taken the cable.
The ceiling appears stable. We should now be able to use Turbo Lift 2, Captain.
I wish I were a poet. I wish I had the words to match how this makes me feel. These people were Starfleet officers giving their lives to explore the cosmos. I wish I knew some eulogy that did them justice.
Damn this tricorder. Why couldn't one of them be alive?
Be careful, Captain. This ship is a death trap.
A poor choice of words, Ensign.
Turbo lift ahead, Captain.
This is an empty hypodermic injector. This medical drill fires a microscopic phaser beam. You retrieve the medical drill. You pick up the empty hypodermic injector.
He's dead, Jim. I can't bring him back.
I can't believe it. That's Brittany Murata. I knew her from my academy days. We studied alien history together.
She's suffering from severe trauma and internal bleeding. I'll see what I can do.
Do what you can, Bones. I need to find out what happened here.
She's in bad shape, Jim. I've tried to stabilize her, but it doesn't look good.
No! You won't get us!
Murata, what happened?
They said it was the Enterprise. They had visual confirmation.
What about the Enterprise?
You killed us, Jim. We were friends for you. I trusted you.
It wasn't the Enterprise, Murata.
There's nothing more I can do. There's nothing more I can do for her, Jim.
Yet another crewman of the Republic whose life was unfairly abbreviated.
Well, gentlemen, let's see if we can re-establish power.
Captain, I'm picking up a functioning energy source in the immediate vicinity. I'm picking up a high-energy power source somewhere under the debris. I recommend caution, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain.
Oh my God, Jim, is that what I think it is?
Yes, Doctor. It is a portable fusion power pack.
A few centimeters lower with that phaser and half this section would be history, not to mention us.
Actually, Doctor, 3.2 centimeters, and based on our proximity to the explosion and the angle of the beam.
Thank you, Spock. I think we get the point.
You pick up the portable fusion power pack. closet opens, revealing a library of engineering technical journals. You take the engineering technical journals. The hypo is now filled with multipurpose oil.
The impulse engines are intact, Captain. We could use the fusion reactors from the impulse engines to restore power, but the lines have been severed to the power regulator.
Can we reroute the power lines?
We should be able to, Captain, if we can find a suitable supply of power cable. We will need to route the power through a junction box so we can set an impedance level. A direct connection to the regulator would cause an overload. This is an engineering circuit junction box. It is used for temporary rerouting of power. Without using one of these devices set to the proper impedance, an overload can occur. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain.
He's dead, Jim.
These ladders are used when turbolifts are unavailable. Unfortunately, it is blocked by debris and a small smoldering fire.
Captain, it is unadvisable to approach too closely. There is an open fire nearby.
Is the fire in danger of spreading, Spock?
No, Captain. There is an inadequate supply of flammable material. It will eventually burn itself out.
You pick up a length of cable.
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. It appears to be a section from a coolant exhaust port. I would not recommend too close of an inspection, Captain. The floor could collapse from our added weight. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. Surprisingly, the transporter controls have escaped damage. Nothing to report, Captain. The transporter pads seem intact, Captain.
You get no response.
This room's in pretty good condition compared to the rest of the ship.
Oh, great. My favorite place in the ship. Wouldn't you know it would be in the best shape?
I have a bad feeling about this place.
Spock, would it be possible to connect the fusion power pack directly into the transporter power circuits?
Fascinating. It can be done. However, the transporter will only be able to transport a single person.
Do it, Spock.
This turbolift cannot reach that area of the ship. Turbolift access is blocked by an extremely high radiation level.
The drill easily breaks through the seal of the panel. The panel opens easily. The oil seeps into and loosens the debris. The gears are completely cleared of debris. You take the record decks.
What a mess. I wonder what we can do to fix this.
I'm glad this isn't the Enterprise.
If there's anything I can do, sir, just ask.
I believe nothing needs to be said, Captain.
Mr. Spock, what is the status of the ship's computer?
There is extensive damage to the main processing unit of the ship's computer. It will take several days at a starbase to repair.
We don't have several days, Mr. Spock.
Unless we can find a suitable computational alternative, there will be no way to control the ship's systems.
That's just great, Spock. We don't exactly carry an M5 computer in our inventory.
Correct, Doctor. However, there may be another alternative. Linked tricorders, along with the circuits in the data reader, should have the processing power necessary to control a single starship system.
Thank goodness for parallel processing. I don't know what computers could do without it.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Captain, I have examined the engineering journals. According to Chapter 18, we can run...
Jim, do we really need a lesson in starship engineering?
Spock, just tell me if they will help.
Why, yes, Captain.
Captain's log. Stardate 6087.6. The Republic is currently approaching the Vardane system. Sensors have detected unusual energy fluctuations near one of the Vardanian moons. Starfleet has ordered us to investigate. Captain's log, Stardate 6087.8. We are under attack by two unidentified ships. I don't know how they could have approached undetected. They must have some kind of cloaking device, although there are no reports of Romulans in this sector. Captain's log, Stardate 6088.1. We have successfully driven off our assailants. Major damage has been sustained by our warp engines. Communications has reported that USS Enterprise is in sector. I requested Mr. Scott's assistance in repairing damage to the Republic. With luck, we will be fully operational in a couple of days.
Captain's log, Stardate 6088.5. First Officer Andrade commanding. The Enterprise has inexplicably opened fire upon us. Captain Patterson has been mortally wounded. We have sustained major damage to all systems. Impulse power is out. We cannot understand why.
There are no more log decks, Captain.
You connect a length of cable between the impulse engine and the junction box. You connect a length of cable between the regulator circuits and the junction box.
Please select an impedance.
Spock? Captain, the information obtained from the engineering journals indicates the correct impedance setting to be 19,000 ohms.
Go ahead and adjust the settings, Spock.
Power has now been restored, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain.
These are the controls to the Republic's impulse engines. This is the fusion mixture regulator for the Republic's impulse engines.
The regulator is fully operating from the power tap run from the impulse engines. We can allocate power to ship systems in auxiliary control. I fail to see the logic in that action, Captain. I fail to see the logic in that action, Captain.
Spock crudely attaches the science tricorder to the computer console. Spock crudely attaches the medical tricorder to the computer console.
Both tricorders are rigged into the main computer's central processing unit. We now have enough computational power to control a single ship's system.
Captain, look! An Alassi ship!
That ship was cloaked.
Fascinating.
Is that all you can say?
Captain, I suggest we try to raise the shields. With impulse power online and the tricorders performing computer control, I can divert power to...
Weapons. Shields.
Shields are up, sir.
Captain, we are being hailed by the Alassi, Captain.
Put it on screen, Spock.
Well, if it isn't Captain Kirk. Fancy meeting you out here all alone in such a shabby starship.
What do you want?
You should be more civil, considering your enterprise is far away on a mercy mission helping that poor traitor.
It was a setup?
I can see why they made you captain.
I assume since you haven't blasted us to bits, you want something.
Why, yes I do. It seems you failed to give one of my associates some rather important information.
The Masada, I presume. You want the locations of all your imprisoned comrades?
Yes, Kirk. The Republic's computers will have the data just as your Enterprise would. I give you 1 minute to comply.
Just try and get it. You can't threaten me. It will take time. It will take time. The controls are smashed and the main computer's badly damaged. It will take hours to get power to the computer banks.
Maybe I should just pump a few torpedoes into your shields and check it out for myself.
The Republic will fall apart if you fire on us. Then you'll never get the data.
All right, Kirk. We'll do it your way. I would rather not kill you. Besides, there's an old friend that wants to meet you. I give you 30 minutes. And remember, no tricks.
Captain, the main computer is far beyond.
Shut up, Spock.
30 minutes then. Kirk out.
This is the fire control for the photon torpedoes. This is the fire control for the photon torpedoes. A red flashing light is currently indicating a jam in the torpedo loading mechanism.
Captain, the torpedo loading system is malfunctioning. To clear it, we will have to physically examine the mechanism. Currently, all turbolift access to the torpedo bay is blocked by a hull breach. It is imperative that we get the weapons online. Transporter systems are operational, Captain. Coordinates have been set to the photon torpedo loading bay.
Ensign Keege, I want you to beam into the torpedo bay and unjam the loading mechanism. If you don't succeed, we'll all be on permanent shore leave in an Alassi jail.
I'll do my best, sir.
Do it, Spock.
It's not too badly damaged, fortunately.
What's causing the malfunction in the loading mechanism?
The inner loading door is stuck in a closed position. Now, I can force it open, but when the loading cycle has begun, the room will lose pressure. We won't be able to beam back here again.
Do it, Ensign. We'll just have to gamble that the system doesn't jam again.
The door's open, Captain. I'm ready to transport back.
Beam him back, Spock.
Well, Captain Kirk, I trust you and your valiant crew have retrieved the data I requested.
Not yet. We're having trouble accessing all the data files.
You better step on it, Kirk. You only have a few minutes left. Well, Captain Kirk, I trust you and your valiant crew have retrieved the data I requested.
Not yet. We're having trouble. Yes, we have. You'll have to beam over and get it, though. The computer's subspace transmitter is out.
How convenient, Kirk. We'll beam over, but no tricks. My sensors read that only your shields have power. Lower them now.
We'll comply. Kirk out.
With impulse power online and the tricorders performing computer control, I can divert power to
Weapons.
power allocated to weapon systems, Captain?
Sensors indicate that the Alassi ship has lowered its shields. I suggest we prepare your surprise soon, Captain. They will beam over any moment.
Kirk, I should have known you'd try something underhanded like this. Weapons Master, fire all weapons on the Republic!
We can't, Captain. All weapon systems offline. Captain, the Enterprise is coming on high-speed approach.
Activate cloaking device. Kirk, until we meet again.
Not too soon, I hope.
Watch yourself, Captain. It may be sooner than you realize.
Enterprise to Captain Kirk. Are you safe, sir?
We're fine, Lieutenant.
Sir, we picked up another ship nearby, and we came as fast as we could. It appeared to cloak. Were you attacked by Romulans?
No, Ensign. It looks like the Alassi have been doing some business with him. Scotty, beam us back. We need to find that ship that attacked the Republic.
Aye, Captain.
Captain's log, stardate 6089.6. We are in pursuit of the starship that destroyed the Republic. Its trail is leading us to the planet Vardane, a member of the Federation whose motives have not always matched the high ideals of other Federation cultures.
Captain, I did not expect to hear you judge an entire culture. I understand the Republic.
I had bad experiences with the Vardane long ago, Mr. Spock.
Fascinating. Captain, I am reading a Constitution-class starship, heading for Vardane at warp factor 5.
Captain, its transponder codes match ours.
Sensors indicate it is an exact duplicate of the Enterprise, including hull markings.
Open hailing frequencies.
Captain Kirk, this is the Enterprise 2. I am Dr. Ayaz Burdell of the Verdane Defense Force. You do remember me, don't you, Captain?
I remember you. 10 years ago, when I was on the Farragut, we exposed your unethical practices to the Vardane Council.
The old Verdane Council. Politics is such a fickle business. The new one is much less concerned with trivial concerns. I remember your part in my disgrace, which is why when we began to construct our own Constitution-class ships, I insisted that we have our own Enterprise.
How did you manage to build a Constitution-class ship?
Our intelligence network is better than yours, Captain. How else does one gather secret information?
You are a member of the Federation. You have signed Federation treaties.
And we shall break them. The Federation's interference in our internal affairs is intolerable.
You must have been building that ship long before the Turgan crisis.
Captain, all wars require justification. They aren't supposed to be fun. You have your justification and I have mine. Don't take diplomacy so seriously. However, Captain, I do intend to enjoy myself. I do intend to enjoy seeing Lieutenant Kirk's ship go up in flames. I shall laugh at the sight.
We'll see who gets the last laugh, Burdell.
I have noted that the Federation enjoys talking, Captain. You may talk yourself to your grave. Prepare to be destroyed.
Save new game.
Raising shields. Arming weapons.
Aye, sir.
There are several Ilasi ships closing rapidly along with our twin. It seems Bridell has called up reinforcements.
I don't know how long she can take it, Captain.
The Enterprise has been destroyed. Load of previous...
Raising shields.
Arming weapons.
That's the last of them, Captain.
Well, that's over.
Duplicate Enterprise indeed. That alien contraption was no match for the real thing.
What if the Vardain have more Constitution-class vessels?
The Federation will blockade Vardain until they agree to destroy their weapons facilities and all non-authorized ships.
Message from Starfleet, Captain.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the destruction of the USS Republic and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet. We have reviewed your overall performance for this year at 100%, Enterprise. Magnificent, Jim. Just magnificent. This will end up in the Starfleet Academy textbooks. My congratulations to you and your crew. They're talking about making you an admiral, Jim. But for now, I'm authorized to give you and your crew shore leave.
Shore leave at last. I know this great spot on Cameron's star, Jim. You'll love it.
Where you will no doubt, Doctor, wallow in sensory overload and emotional display.
Well, heck, Spock, it wouldn't be any fun otherwise. Jim, we've got to find some way to get this Vulcan to let his ears down.
Spock, you will come with us, won't you?
I cannot let go by a chance to study the primitive and raw emotional outburst at the level I anticipate, Captain.
That's the spirit, Spock. Okay, Admiral. What are you waiting for?
I've got some adventure left in me before I accept an Admiral's desk job, Bones. Take us out of here, Mr. Sulu. Warp Factor 4. Very few people have the ability to fire up our imaginations and make us think about the human condition. Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, was one of those people. He took us where no man has gone before and beyond. He created a starship, its crew, and an entire universe and brought them to life for millions of people. Without Gene, there would have been no Star Trek computer game or a Star Trek television series. Gene Roddenberry, born 1921, died 1991. We honor your memory.
Load of previously saved game.